Chapter 6450. Charlie asked him, "What's the situation at the fishing port? Will it attract attention?" "No," Duncan said. "The management of the local fishing port is very chaotic. There are thousands of fishing boats of all sizes, most of which are fishermen from surrounding areas. The situation of the ship owners is more complicated, and there are people from all over the world. There are only some small circles among these fishing boats. No big circles. In addition, all the people arranged are locals, so it won't attract attention. Besides, the border defense along the coastline here is also very lax. Even if the army investigates, they will mainly investigate imported smuggling. As long as the ships returning to the port do not have any contraband, they will definitely not be exposed. We can buy some fish from Algerian fishermen at sea in advance and disguise them as our harvest. We will definitely be able to conceal the truth." "Okay," Charlie said. "There are quite a few ships crossing the Strait of Gibraltar every day. Even if they pursue the clues to the sea, they will basically sink into the sea. Let's do it this way. The night after tomorrow, everyone will withdraw to the transfer station, and we'll start to move to the sea late that night." Duncan immediately said, "Don't worry, Mr. Wade. I will make all preparations and emergency plans for the unforeseen situations." Seeing that Duncan had everything ready, Charlie was relieved and began to arrange for the elderly and women. The elderly and women to be transferred were not only the families of the dead soldiers, but also the families of these cavalry guards. The cavalry guards of the 3rd Battalion have divided these people into several groups. Each group has about 80 members. Each group takes a closed truck and only takes 2 hours to reach the food factory, since the vehicles will arrive at night. The cavalry guards are working hard on mining and production throughout the day. Charlie believed that none of Duke Mining's dead soldiers, cavalry guards, and their families would defect. The only one who might defect was Rhea Song. After all, he threatened her with an AI video. But the best solution for her was to escape. As long as she could escape, she could report the situation to the warrior's den, and the AI video would naturally have no deterrent effect on her. Because of this, Charlie asked Rhea to stay with him all the time except when she went to the toilet, and warned her not to leave within 3 meters of him at any time. Otherwise, her cultivation would be completely abolished. Rhea knew that she was no match for Charlie, so she could only surrender obediently. Charlie did not rest either. He watched the dead soldiers set off one after another at night, and spent the rest of the time keeping a close eye on the progress of production. Rhea was forced to follow him. At noon, when Charlie stood on the high platform and looked at the bustling scene in the mining area in the distance, Luster came to report to him and said respectfully, "Mr. Wade, all the goods on the platform have been put into storage, and the phosphate to be shipped this afternoon has been loaded. In the afternoon, the train will pull an empty carriage over, and then pull this train full of phosphate to the port." Charlie nodded and said, "Gather all the flammable materials and keep them properly. After leaving, burn this place to ruins." "Okay." Luster nodded heavily and said, "We have our own oil depot with a reserve of more than 200 tons. Most of them are diesel supplied to these construction machinery. In addition, there are dozens of tons of gasoline. All of these fuels are stored in underground tanks and can be pumped out at any time." Charlie hummed and said, "With that much fuel, it is enough to burn this place to ashes."